Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.
So hey guys, this report's for November 23rd. I'm out here at Bodega Bay. As you can see the beautiful background back here. We went out and did some lingcod fishing, so make sure you watch that video next Monday. It's that time of the year in the fall to go out and catch some big lingcod. First of all, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the fishing industry for over 30 years. I get a lot for my report. I get a lot of information from local guides, friends, customers, and I'm on the water 3 or 4 times a week. So all this information that I give you is really current. You know, it's not a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it's days ago. I also put 2 videos out a week. On Monday, I do the teaching video, and then on Wednesday, I do the reports. Let's get on with this report. One of the hot topics going on right now is bottom fishing and crabbing. So bottom fishing is really good because of the lingcod are coming in to spawn. You know, I did a video out here because I'm doing the report right here at Bodega, and we caught some big lings. We caught some over 20 pounds.
My first lingcod on Alan Fong's new boat. It's a maiden voyage. We limit on crab and we limit on lings.
Yeah, look at mine. It could eat hers.
You can't even see mine, so that's just a shadow.
Yeah. We got some big lings today.
It was an awesome day.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
It was fun. And then the crab is off the hook. We caught limits of crab. So the crab are in anywhere from 80 to 110 feet of water. Pretty much just look for that sand bottom. And we were only soaking for maybe 35 to 45 minutes. And we were bringing up, you know, pots. Some pots only had a few in it. I think couple times we got like 10 or 12 or whatever was in there. But a lot of little size, a lot of undersize in there to go. But you have to weed through it. You know, there's 3 of us. We only used 6 pots, and it didn't take an hour to get a limit of crab. But the rock fishing is excellent, and the lingcod, like I said, there's some big lingcods out there. And I heard it's been good from San Francisco, the Golden Gate, all the way up north to Shelter Cove. So the rock fishing is a good one. Another thing is the bluefin. They're still hanging around out there past the Fairlawn. Danny was out there the other day. It looked like he got one that was probably pushing 200, 180, 200 pounder. And they're trolling those Mad Max lures. But they're seeing a lot of jumpers. So if it's what you want to do and you want to go hook onto a big bluefin, head out to the Fairlawns. Come inside the halibut fishing. I hear they're still catching some, but you're going to go through a lot of shorts, and the fish are a little bit smaller, but you can still catch them. I don't think you could get any anchovies at the bait receiver. I think they close. So guys, I did something a little bit different this last week. If you look and watch Monday's video, I have a real close friend of mine that I've known for many, many, many years. And this guy, when he was younger, he was one of those jocks. He fished, he rode bulls, he raced motorcycles, he did everything. And then boom, in one day, something changed. And his whole life changed. And you know, he kind of like fell off the planet. And I met him, he come in the shop one day looking for me, and I couldn't recognize him. But watch that video, because you're gonna learn something about not giving up in life. If something happens to you, and I don't think anybody could have anything happen worse than what happened to Kurt. So watch that video, because I think you'll enjoy it. The striper, they've moved into Delta. One of the things I heard from all these sturgeon guys is that over in Suisun, they're out there fishing for sturgeon, and these stripers are robbing their roe. They don't want to catch stripers because, you know, roe's a premium, it's hard to get, and those fish are gobbling it up. They're catching stripers from 5 to 15 pounds. So the stripers are moving in. A couple of the friends of mine, Mike and John, were out this last weekend. They also caught some nice ones. Mike was throwing a lot of topwater lures, and John was catching them on swim jigs. And both those guys are in anywhere from 3 to 7 feet of water. And I know some guys that have been trolling over there in Rio Vista. They're trolling 3/4 ounce rattle traps, and you know, anything shiny, been working really well, and they troll them. And make sure you guys troll downstream, and you're going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 feet of water, trolling right along the grass. And they're catching a lot of them, so it's probably time to get down there if you're a striper fisherman. I was down there last week, and the week before the water temperature dropped over 10 degrees. So they're just getting acclimated to it. So, you know, just from listening to friends of mine how they're doing, instead of catching 10, you know, they're catching 15 or 20. So I think it's going to happen real quick, the stripers. Sturgeon fishing between Pittsburgh and Suisun, it's off the hook. Guys are catching a lot of fish. Best bait is roe. You can't get eel. Roe and grass shrimp seem to be the #1 getters, and they're catching a lot of fish. Let's go in for a little bit more. Well, actually in the Delta, the bass fishing has been kind of tough lately. You see these tournaments and you're talking to other anglers. You know, I've been out there striper fishing, and we're catching like a half a dozen of them while we're striper fishing. But I think that 10-degree temperature drop put the bite a little bit tough. So it's gotta stay stable, and then maybe those bass will start biting again. But if I was to go out there, I'd probably be flipping and throwing swim baits if I wanted to target some bass. The bass fishing in the lakes is another story. It's been really good. Don's been up at Berryessa taking out clients, and they were catching a lot of them spooning, but when that temperature dropped, they had to go to drop shotting. But I'm sure anytime right now, they're going to be starting to catch them spooning. Comanche, they're spooning a lot of them there. So, you know, I think all these lakes that have threadfin shad, you know, get that spoon out. And I think that's probably one of the top baits during the fall. Because like I always tell you guys, if you're after a fish, find out what he likes to eat and study it and where they go, because shad in the winter, they go up the river systems, the headways, and they spawn. So all the fish are going to follow them up there. So get up there, learn how to watch my old videos on spooning, because I showed you how to flip-flop it, where you just tater the spoon on the bottom because it's like a dead, dying shad, and those bass pick it right up off the bottom. So bass fishing's been pretty decent in the lakes, more so than in the Delta. Also the trout fishing, you know, all the lakes, the water temperatures drop down in the low 60s now. So Collins, Comanche, Amador, they're all going to start planting now. And they're planting a lot of lightning trout, and a couple of the lakes are just doing lightning trout for the first time. So if you hook something that looks like a goldfish, it's a lightning trout. So crappie fishing during the fall is one of the things I like to do also. The Delta, we did really good probably about 2 weeks ago, and then it kind of tapered off because the water got really cold. But everything has to acclimate to it. So I'm going to be out there again real quick chasing the crappie, because when that water temperature gets in the low 50s, I was up north and we were striper fishing, and I looked at my graph, and you know, the temperature was 54 degrees and the water was clear as a bell. So I had a hunch. Something told me, hey, go try it. So we picked up and went crappie fishing, and every cast, 3 of us, every cast, as soon as it hit that depth, boom, 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 just one after another. But after it got cold, it kind of slowed down a little, but they will acclimate, so don't give up on it. Berryessa, you might want to check if you can launch, because Pewter Creek, I know is open because they put grades down on the end of the ramp, but you better call Markley and see if that you can launch. Folsom Lake, they closed Browns Ravine, and the only place you can launch is Granite Bay. So the water levels are dropping low, so any of these lakes you guys want to go fish, I would call there and make sure that they're still available where you can launch. So guys, my tackle tip for this week is going to be regarding going after these big lingcod. So a lot of times when those fish, when you're out there fishing and you hook maybe a fish that's a pound and you start bringing them up, I usually bring them up, and all of a sudden you just feel like, hey, he just got hella big, you know, because it got heavy. Well, don't set the hook, because if you set the hook, you're going to jerk it out of their mouth. I showed you the video of that lingcod. They got teeth that are angled in, so when they grab that fish, it's stuck in there. So when you bring them up, you just reel real slow. When they start fighting, I quit reeling. I just keep pressure on them, bring it up real slow, and you'll bring them up, and they got that teeth. They can't let go. And they bring it up like that, and then remember, not a net, use a gaff. Whack them, throw them in the boat. That's my tackle tip for the week. If you like my videos, please hit that like button. And if you would subscribe, it'll really help my channel out, and I really appreciate it. Go to the bottom. If you want to leave me a comment, you can ask me any questions in any video I ever did. Or ask me any questions regarding anything, and I'll answer you within 2 or 3 days. So thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you guys next week.
Fishing is fun, but hooking is the only way. We're gonna show you how to catch some fish today.